we continue with the social media, but now we're going to step in the field of internet because internet and social media it has a completely different development. The base is of course internet, but internet was not used at the very beginning as a social network, widespread as it is nowadays. It was mostly starting with websites and then little by little it became into what we know what happened on the 2004 with Facebook. But what's the influence of internet and social media on tourism? The way we used to travel the world and tour around is not the same as it is nowadays. Nowadays we know everything. Even before we get to the place, we already know what's the best restaurant and what happened in that corner, what is the best monuments to go and visit and forth, the best parties and whatever. So I made a little list here on the main impacts of traveling. And this is based on my experience because this is the tools that I always use when I go out traveling. So the main thing is that the users generate the content. And by this, I mean that it's a black and white thing to trust on the publication based on the experience of a traveler, because maybe the traveler it's a beautiful girl and everybody treats her like a queen, and once you get to the place they don't treat you the same. So it's a black and white thing. It could be, but it could not be at this very same time. But anyways, it's good. They are actually generating the content. The second one, it's force a decision and a bucket list. What I was mentioning in other video, that you have to get to the place and you have to visit the Eiffel Tower, and you go to Croatia and you have to be in Dubrovnik because they shoot the Game of Thrones there. Of course, it's a good tour. Is it? Yes, it is. I mean, that city is beautiful. But it becomes a must. It's like you have to go there, I mean, sometimes I rather go into places where not everybody has been. So that's it's really up to you. Third one, find places and locations. This is very important because, for example, when I was in France, when you get to France, you want to eat really good food. It's like when you're in Peru. When you're in Peru, you want to go and eat, but you need to find that places to go. So I was already in the algorithm of internet. I was already in the algorithm of social media, and I was in the Champs Elysees, and I felt hungry. So I want to eat something. So I was looking for places to go and eat, and suddenly boop, there was a promotion, 130 euros for going on a brunch on the Ritz. Now, the Ritz is the hotel where Lady Diane stayed when she was in Paris. But then I thought about it and I said, 130 euros for eating as much as I want in the Ritz. How much am I going to spend in a restaurant for one dish or two dishes? 50, 60 euro, and it's not going to be the Ritz. So internet gave me the information in order to have access to a really good place, and I ate everything. So now I know everything about the French culinary or gastronomy. Sorry. Then fourth one. Sorry. Stay ahead of the situation. This is something that becomes very handy nowadays that we have the COVID. And if you want to go traveling right now, remember that the regulations changes depending on the frontier. Not all the countries are going to have the same regulations and protocols. Of course, this is something that is going to, based on one reunion that I had with the people from Caribbean and Princess Cruises. They said 23rd. So it's going to be 2 more years of this, and this is becoming handy if you have an app that actually can give you ideas of what is going to be the regulations on your next destination. The fifth is easy payment methods. You're going from Amsterdam to Denmark, and you need to book a hotel. You book the hotel from Booking.com, for example. It's the one that I use. You pay there. You get discounts for that. So a tour agency is not anymore needed for doing that. It's just like you get on the cloud and you just have access to it. It's something that everybody can do. Now, this is one of the big issues related to the social media, is that as agencies don't play an important role in tourism anymore nowadays. I mean, they do, but not for going and walking the city. They actually don't. People relate on that on application. What they do, they actually pay to influencers in order to spread a word of mouth that is not 100% true. And authenticity in publications, in promotions, keeping the rules and the protocols and the deals clear. What's going to be, what are you going to get for the money that you're going to pay? It's very important, but sadly, it's not being well respected, and this is something that the touristic industry has been taking over, and influencers have been just you know asking for some money. They got paid for doing this or doing that, and they just don't care about what is going to be the result of it. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about authenticity on social media and the impact on tourism.